Hi, I'm Sahal. Today I'm going to explain how to write a literature review. A literature review is survey of scholarly sources on specific topic. It provides an overview of current knowledge, allowing you to identify relevant theories, methods, and gaps in the exciting research. Writing literature review involved a finding relevant publication, such as a book, journal article, critical analyzing them, and explain what you found. There are five key steps. The first key step: search for relevant literature. 4. Evaluate sources. 3. Identify them, debates, and gaps. 4. Outline the structure. 5. Write your literature review. A good literature review doesn't just summarize sources, it analyzes, synthesizes, and critically evaluates to give clear picture of the state of knowledge on the subject. When you write a thesis, dissertation, or research paper, you will have to conduct a literature review to situate your research with exciting knowledge. The literature review gives you a chance to demonstrate your familiarity with the topic and scholarly context, develop a theoretical framework and methodology for your research. Position yourself in relation to other researchers and theories. So how you research others engage or contribute to the to debate. You might also have to write a literature review as a stand-alone assignment. In the case, the purpose is to evaluate the current state of research and demonstrate your knowledge of the scholarly debates around a topic. The context will look slightly different in each case, but the process of conducting a literature review follow the same tips. There are some steps how to write a literature review. The first step, search for relevant literature. Before you begin searching for literature, you need a clearly defined topic. If you write the literature review section of dissertation or research paper, you will search for literature relate to your research a problem and question. If you are writing a literature review as a standalone assignment, you will have to choose a focus and develop a central question to direct your search. Unlike a dissertation research question, This question has to be answerable without collecting original data. You should be able to answer it based only on a review of exciting publication. Tiga. Research question example. What is the impact of social media on body image among Generation Z? The solution: make a list of keywords. Start by creating a list of keywords related to your research question. Include each of the key concepts or variables you're interested in and list any synonym and related term you can add to this list if you discover new keyword in the process of your literature research. Keyword example: social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, body image, self perception, self esteem, mental health, Generation Z, teenagers, adults, can't, youth. Search for relevant search. Use your keyword to begin searching for searches. Some useful databases to search for journal and article include your university library catalog, Google Scholar, Gestor, EBSCO, Project Muse, Humanities, and Social Science, Medline, Life Science and Biomedicine, Econlit, Economic, Spec, Physics, Engineering, and Computer Science. You can use a Boolean operators to help narrow down your search. And to find searches that contain more than one keyword. Or to find searches that contain one of a range of synonyms. Note: to exclude results containing certain terms. Read the abstract to find out whether an article is relevant to your question. When you found a useful book or article, you can check the bibliography to find other relevant sources. To identify the most important publication on your topic. Take notes the current situation if the same author, books, or article keep appearing in your reading, make sure to seek them out. Step 2. Evaluate and select sources. You probably won't be able to read absolutely everything that has been writing on the topic. You'll have to evaluate which sources are more relevant to your question. For each publication, ask yourself, What question or problem is the author addressing? What the key concept and how are they defined? What are the key theories, model, and method? Does the research use established framework or take an innovative approach? What are the result and conclusion of the study? How does the publication relate to other literature in the field? Does it confirm, add to, or challenge established knowledge? How does the publication contribute to your understanding the topic? What are its key insights and argument? What are the strengths and weakness of the research? Make sure the sources you use are credible and make sure you read any landmark studies and major theories in your field of research. You can find out how many times an article has been cited on the Google Scholar. A high citation count means the article has been influential in the field and should certainly be included in your literature review. The scope of your review will depend on your topic and discipline. In the science, you usually only review recent literature, but in the humanities, you might take a long historical perspective, for example, to try how a concept has changed in the meaning over time. Take notes and cite your search. As you read, you should also begin the writing process. Take notes that you can later incorporate into the text of your literature review. It is important to keep track of your sources with citation to avoid plagiarism. It can be helpful to make annotate bibliography where you compile full citation information and write a paragraph of summary and analysis for each sources. This helps you remember what you read and save time later in the process. You can use our free citation generator to quickly create correct and consistent APA citation or MLA format citations. Step 3. Identify themes, debates, and gaps. To begin organizing your literature review, argument, and structure, you need to understand the connection and relationship between the sources you read based on your reading and notes. You can look for trends and pattern in theory, method, or result. Do certain approach become more or less popular over time? Themes. What you question or concept recur across the literature. Debates. conflict, and contradiction. Where do your sources disagree? Pivotal publication. Are there any influential theories or studies that change the direction of the field? Gaps. What is a mission from the literature are the weaknesses that need to be addressed? This step will help you work out the structure of your literature review and, if applicable, show how your own research will contribute to exciting knowledge. Example of trend and gaps. In reviewing the literature on social media and body image, you note that most research has a focus on young women. There is an increasing interest in the visual aspect of social media, but there is still a lack of robust research on highly visual platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. This is a gap that you could address in your own research. Step 4. Outline your literature review structure. There are various approaches to organizing the body of literature review. You should have a rough idea of your strategy before you start writing. Depending on the length of your literature review, you can combine several of these strategies. For example, your overall structure might be thematic, but each theme is discussed chronological. Chronological. The simplest approach is to trace the development of the topic over time. However, if you choose this strategy, be careful to avoid simply listing and summarizing sources in order. Try to analyze pattern, turning point, and key debates that have shaped the direction of the field. Give you interpretation of how and why certain development occur. Thematic. If you have found some recurring central themes, you can organize your literature review into the subsection that address different aspects of the topic. For example, if you are a review literature about the inequalities in migrant health outcome, key themes might include health care policy, language barrier, culture attitude, legal status, and economic access. Methodological, if you draw your search from different discipline or field that you variety of research method, you might want to compare the result and conclusion that emergency from different approach. For example, look at what results have emergent in qualitative versus quantitative research. Discuss how the topic has been approached by empirical versus theoretical scholarship. Define the literature into this sociological, historical, and cultural sources. Theoretical, a literary review is often a foundation for theory- theoretical framework. You can use it to discuss various theories, model, and definition of key concepts. You might argue for the relevance of a specific theoretical approach or combine various theoretical concepts to create a framework for your research. Step 5. Write your literature review. Like any other academic text, your literature review should have an introduction, a main body, and conclusion. What you include in each depends on the objective of your literature review. Introduction. The introduction should clearly establish the focus and purpose of the literature review. Dissertation literature review. You are writing the literature review as part of your dissertation or thesis. They iterate your central problem or research question and give a brief summary of the scholarly context. You can emphasize the timeless of the topic. Many recent studies have focused on the problem of X or highlight a gap in the literature. While there has been much research on X, few research have taken Y into consideration. Stand-alone literature review. If you are writing stand-alone paper, give some background on the topic and its important. Discuss the scope of the literature you will review. For example, the time period of your search and state your objective, what new insight you draw from the literature. Body. Depending on the length of your literature review, you might want to divide the body into subsection. You can use the subheading for each theme, time period, or methodological approach. As you write, you can follow these tips. Summarize, synthesis give you an overview, the main point of each search, and combine them into coherence wall. Analyze the interpret. Don't just a paragraph other research at your own interpretation, where possible discussion and significance of finding in relation to the literature as a whole. Critically evaluate. Mention the strengths and weakness of your researches. Write in well-structured paragraph, a news transition word and topic sentence to draw connection, comparison, and contrast. For example, a paragraph, a literature review. Body image issues have been widely associated with the social media news site, particularly in the young woman. The relation between media depiction and body image concern is well established. A meta-analysis by Greby, Ward, and Hyde 2008 conclude that exposure to mass media is linked to body image dissatisfaction among women. However, in era of the rapidly changing digital technology, the mass media paradigm is no longer inadequate for understanding how people engage with image, and the finding of the older study like this one might not be generalized to younger generation. In light of this changing landscape, researchers have become increasing interested in the specific effect to social media developed to 2014 theories that the interactive aspect of social media might influence its impact on body image, and mention that two women are among the activist social media author. Several empirical study have a focus on the Facebook study in adults can gear Changerman and the Slater 2013, Mary and Gray 2014. And if you adult woman Smith, Hams and Joyner 2013, Van et al. 2015, Cohen and Newell Joan and Saylor 2017, a while a systematic review by Holland and the type Timmerman 2016 compare and relation between social connecting and body image for both a woman and man. Across the study, there is the consist evidence that body images are influenced not by social media news in general, but by engagement with the visual and interactive aspect of this platform. Nonetheless, there is a lack of robust research on more highly visual social media (HVCM), such as Instagram and Snapchat, that have gained a more recent popularity among younger generation. Conclusion. In the conclusion, you shall summarize the key found you have taken from the literature and emphasize their significance. Dissertation literature review. In the literature review is a part of your thesis or dissertation, so how your researcher address gaps and contribute new knowledge, or discuss how you have drawn in exciting theories and methods to build a framework for your research. Stand along a literature review. If you are writing a stand along paper, you can discuss the overall implication of the literature of my suggestion for future research base and the gaps you have defined. When you finish writing the revision your literature review, don't forget to approve it through before submitting. And a quick the quit and propheting and over some news the tip and streak. Thank you. Bye bye.